Okay, I hope it works. Hold on. Alright, whatever. What whatever. Okay. Hold on, let me find this call. I need to set this. Okay. Welcome to my Rice Domination celebration stream. Also, Grunkles, why the fuck are you claiming first and first alternate? That's illegal. That's illegal, bro. Bro, what is that? Both first and first alternate. That's kind of cheating, isn't it? Also, welcome nerds. Thank you for attending today's class. Yeah, the counter is working. Oh, the counter is working. Yes, because you're 2 times the number one. Okay, you know what? You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Nobody said that you couldn't do first and first alternate, but like holy shit, Grungus. Leave some aura for like the rest of the people. You're farming it too hard, bro. Leave it. Also, are you gonna join me? Are we gonna hunt diamonds? I'm gonna hunt diamonds myself. Okay, I'm gonna meet you at like Cookie's house, right? I'm gonna go Cookie's house. So yeah, chat, today I won. I won big time, right? Like I fucking won 3 battles today. Granted they were minor causes, but they are still a win, okay? We take those, we take those. So first win is I found a hack. Instead of using the stupid fragile matcha whisk, I have like a ton of matcha from like a gift someone got. My brother bought them actually, and then we never tried it after that because the whisk is so difficult to use. And then I had a genius stroke of idea after I got up from that because I used like the green tea in like the instant green tea bags and I hated it. So I was like, you know what about matcha? And then I figured if protein powder can dissolve in regular protein shake stuff, why not matcha, you know? Like that makes a lot of sense to me, don't you think? So I happened to, oh shit. I don't have my silk touch. Gragas! I need my silk touch. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go get it. I'm an idiot. Grungus is laughing at me. Stop. Stop. Alright, so like I figured out if protein shakes could use the what is that? The bottle thingy, like the metal ball thing, the spring inside to dissolve your protein powder, and that shit is like freaking hard to dissolve. Like why wouldn't it do the same for matcha, right? So I tried it on a whim, and then it fucking worked. I told my brother, I was like, I am a genius today. I told him, I was like, I found a hack. It's half an arm workout, but it works. If you can talk in VC2 cause the oh my god. Okay, so you can't talk but you're in VC. Got it. got it. You're lagging server? Oh, that's bad. That's not good. Why are you lagging server? Why are you lagging server? Alright, hold on. Let me get my pick. It's not too bad, but it's delete. What is your ping? I forgot. Australian internet. Ha ha ha. I get to laugh at it now. Ha ha. Aha. Australian internet, you say? Australian internet. Right, sorry. Sorry. I won't laugh at it. I temporary insanity, I say. Alright, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Alright, so like matcha works, guys. Like if you are a gym rat and you have like protein shake bottles, you might as well just use it for matcha. You throw that fucking whisk out. You know that whisk is like freaking expensive and it's freaking fragile. After 2 rounds of making matcha, the wooden spike things started to fray, and I was like, yeah, that's not a good thing. But the metal one, the stainless steel spring ball, those can last forever. So you might as well put that one protein shake bottle to use, especially, and then you can take it for travels as well. You know, it's like it is so convenient, y'all. Try it out. Don't just take my word for it. Try it out. Okay, it's a hack. It's a hack. I swear to God, it's a good hack. Also, I lost Grungus. Grungus! I lost Grungus. What? What? Oh. Hello. Hello. Also, hello, Doubt. Welcome to an evening lesson. evening class with me. Yeah, we're gonna go find diamonds, Grungus. Where lead the way? Where do we find diamonds? I have this pick and I have this pick. I have two picks. Two picks. Yeah. We're gonna like literally dig down. No way! I thought you were gonna find like a cave and go in there. You're asking me to dig down, like down. What? Right outside Cookie's house. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Do we not have a hole? Can we find a hole and do this properly? Like I don't know, somewhere. I have water breathing. I should be fine. Oh, that's a hole, alright. Is that a good hole? Wow. Wow, big hole. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. He literally... We dig. We just dig. Oh, I am in the middle of something here. It goes down. Holy shit. Grungus, I found rock. Rock. Did I say rock? Ah. Oh, are we going down even more? Oh wait, that works. That works. Hold on. There we go. Gold! Oh, I'm so happy to see. I'm happy to see it though. Ah! Alright, it's too late. Too bad. I can't get that. What is this? Holy hell. It's even more water. Water. And lava. Holy shit. Okay. What are you doing? What do you want? Oh, he's building a nether portal. Right here? Seriously? Really? Oh. The nether is not open, Grungus. What are you doing? The nether is not open. I'm gonna toss out some stuff we don't need or want. Why? Why is there like another portal here? What? Okay, you know what? I cannot follow the thought of Thanos Killer Grungus. I'm just gonna follow. That is a creeper. Nope. I don't like it. I did that. Yes. Diamond. Wow. Right off the bat. Damn, he's good at this. He's really good at this. Okay, so like rice. Okay, my second victory of today is rice. So all I had to do was just up the ratios. My rice cooker apparently is very allergic to vegetables, and wait, those are enchanted bowls. That's not good. Oh, that's one way to get rid of them. Holy shit! These are mobs. Alright, these are lots of mobs. Ooh. Holy shit. That's chainmail. Oh, we are so good. We're so cooked. We're so fucking cooked. Oh, and the leg is not helping. Unknown! For anything that goes wrong today, I'm blaming unknown. Alright, so my second victory for today was actually the rice cooker. My rice cooker is highly allergic to vegetables. And Grungus agrees with me, we're good. So, and then I upped it to like 4 portions instead of usual 1. Maybe because I'm a small eater, so it has problems, right? My rice cooker has issues with me being a small eater. Every time I do that, the rice either drowns or it burns or like something weird ass happens in there. And then another thing I learned is that my rice cooker absolutely hates seasoning. It's probably British or something. So it can't take vegetables, it can't take seasoning, and it has to cook for a family or like an obese person, you know. I made 4 portions, so it's like what, 1.5 cups of rice, and then it worked. So I was like, oh, okay. Ooh. Ow. Oh my god, this ghost. This is a good vein. Holy shit. What the fuck? There's too many of them. Oh no, that's way too close. It's up in my acne zone. Come on. I see a diamond there. How do I, I wanna get to it. I wanna get to it. Do I see it there? Yes, I do. Okay, so like the rice cooker absolutely hates vegetables, absolutely hates seasoning, and yeah, just one? Seriously? Okay, so I upped it to 4. Not the most lucky number, but hey, it works, right? And then suddenly, miraculously, oh my god, rice galore. Like the rice turned out perfect, y'all. I'm not even joking. It's like perfect. And then I got like 4 portions out of it. I ate 1 and then like 3 more in the freezer. So yeah, but I asked my dad, I was like, am I gonna die or kill myself accidentally by food poisoning if I make vegetables in there? So I added like chicken and like rice. And suddenly I was like inspired. I was like, wait, Singapore's one of those dishes is called chicken rice, right? I just legitimately made that at home. Like, this is a hack, y'all. I don't have to spend money to do that outside. Like, it's so expensive. Right, and I can just do it at home. Like, oh god, that is a win. There is a win. Where is the groundless? Ow! Oh wait, that's the thing. Hi. So I made food prep. I had like a really good run this time, like today. And then my final victory for today is, you know, there is a dumbass client on Shopee where I sell Coffee Creeds coffee. So he bought it, right? He didn't ask anything, no clarification questions, no nothing, and then he decided that he didn't like the taste of it and he wanted a refund. And I was like, bro, in which universe do you get your audacity to do such a thing, right? And then I filed for dispute, of course, because I'm like, no way, the customer is not always right, and I'm gonna prove that. Okay, I'm gonna say my piece, and I'm gonna tell him my shit, and like, not in my universe, not on my shop, not on my watch. You know, like my shop, my rules. I ain't gonna take shit from you just because I'm scared of a 1-star review. I'd rather you give me that 1-star review so I can prove to you what a fucking dumbass you are. Right? You bought my stuff. It clearly said it's from Vietnam. Robusta, high Robusta dark roasted. You know how bitter that shit is? He's like, oh yeah, I can buy this. Like, I'm gonna buy coffee beans just cause like, you know, it makes me look like I'm a real coffee drinker. And then that shit was too bitter for him. And he's like, you know what? I want a refund cause your coffee sucks. My coffee don't suck, okay? My roasting of that coffee was that. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Baby, stupid baby zombie die. That was a thing. Okay, so like I legitimately I was like, you know, this fucking dumbass of a client, like, oh, who the fuck does that even? Right, and I am a professional, you know. You're telling a professional that? Like, come on, you can't be serious, you know. Huh? Grungus, was that you? Was that the zombie behind? Ow, ow, ow. Yes, what do you want? English. Oh yeah, I forgot you can't speak. What do you want? Type it in. Where are we going? Oh, we're going there. Okay, so you want me to go here. Speak, brother. You have so many arrows on you. What do you want? Why are you smacking me? What did I do? What did I do? Who killed your mother? Actually, no, I'm your mother. Follow. I am. I am. I'm following. Die. Okay, so anyways, I got the dispute and then I sent it in because I had all the incriminating evidences, right? So I have like, oh, diamonds! Damn, Grungus knows exactly where diamonds is. Yo, you're so smart. But anyway, so I took the packing video before I shipped it out, and then I took the video of his return of the goods, and they were exactly as the description of the product described on the shop. right? And then I have evidence of like communication trail. So I basically stacked it all up on him, and then the platform Shopee, they actually approved my dispute. They're like, yeah, this one's a dumbass. So yeah, don't be afraid. And Shopee is actually known to be very customer centric. So I'm actually quite surprised that they approved it in like less than 24 hours for my case, which really means that that guy is a fucking dumbass. So yeah. We're not paid enough to deal with idiots on a regular basis, but sometimes, you know, just sometimes. Yep, I'm up. Whee! There is a little hole here. Wow, okay. Gold. I don't know why I like collecting gold. I just like collecting gold. Gold is nice. I'm going down. Ow, ow, ow. Wait, that's not where Grangus is. I'm stupid. I'm like a lost child at this. The Grangus is that side. Jumped the wrong end. I found you. It's okay, I found you. Wee! Wee! That's lava. That's lava right there. Jeez. Diamonds! Oh my god. Oh my god. You're so good at this. Oh my god. He's a diamond sniffer, yo. Thanos killer for a reason. He knows. He lives in the multiverse. He's been here before. He knows exactly where they are. That's 16 ores. Yo, you're good. Loki getting lucky? You are the lucky one. I only have Rice Domination today in like mini legal cases. Not really legal case. Dispute wins. That's all I got. That's all I got. The rest is you, bro. It's you, bro. Oh, there's one there as well. Wait, we need to get rid of the lava. Yeah, that's what I thought. Kinda unlucky. Ooh. That was very near the lava. Thank you. Thank you. Always dig around that. Oh. Oh. That really? Okay, I didn't know about diagonals. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning. Oh, the inventory sorting is real. Why do I have an extra bait? What? Where did the extra bait come from? I have an extra bait in my inventory, guys. I don't know why I have it. Your cat's yelling at you. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, that bait was yours, the white one. I'm sorry. I was like, why do I have an extra bait in the inventory? That's so weird. Your cat needs your cat needs attention. Grangus is a cat, y'all. Also, I'm not actually paying attention to chat right now. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, well, Grangus staircase is this. I'm gonna scroll up. Holy shit. Okay, why are you guys quoting me? Also, yes, my cave is very lit up because I have a mod that elevates the light levels. It's a shader pack. Because I'm a fucking streamer and I realized the phasmophobia was not great for you guys because it was totally dark and I don't have like a, you know, I didn't increase the brightness for it, unfortunately. So yeah, I think I might do that adjustment for you guys next round for the phasmo. Because I know there's a lot of like there's an update right now. So phasmophobia, you can actually make the brightness very gamma like like those photo filters that you see. Yeah, you actually get those now. Okay, I'm following Rangus, thank you. So you can actually get those for Phasmo. And then you guys will be able to see exactly what I do, you know? So yeah, but for Minecraft, I definitely made sure that every single time I play any servers, you guys get to see the light level. So I don't have to put in torches. Like I could, but holy shit. speak of the devil and they appear. They spawn in because there is no torches, right? But like, yeah. Anyways, I leave them here. But it doesn't make a difference. Okay, it doesn't make much of a difference. So I can do this in the dark. Technically, it's dark. Oh my god, the bats, the fucking bats. Every single goddamn time. Why? And there's an upstairs cabin. Magrungus do. Oh my god, this is an amethyst geode. Alright, we have an unknown's hole, so we don't need another one. Those are zombies. Those are zombies. Grungus behind you. Ow, 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 ow. Spider. Oh, it's night right now. That's why it's attacking me. Okay, got it. Oh, there's a creeper. Ha, you can't reach me, can ya? That's what I thought. It's hard to die with full diamond armor. I mean, it's true, but it doesn't make Minecraft any less of a horror game in my opinion, okay? Diamonds! I did that. Whee! Diamonds! Yay! I need to get up. I need to get up. Or should I go down and just check it out for a little bit? It's a long road. Or it's a long road. More diamonds! Holy shit, what are the odds, man? Grungus is my lucky star today. Grungus is so lucky. It's not about the rice domination anymore. It's just Grungus being like the ultimate. You know, I was going to dominate rice so bad. Like, after I managed to cook that shit, the pot was so fucking heavy. It was so fucking heavy, right? And I was like, I don't have enough gym experience to do this shit. So, you know what I did next? I legit went to get a stool, okay? A step stool, you know? The one that I used to hang laundry because I'm not tall enough. And then I I stood on the counter where the rice pot was, and I literally degraded the rice. I'm like, ha! I bet you didn't think I can do this. Take that, you piece of shit. like, I'm so good at what I do, man. I swear to God, I'm on fire. Oh, thank you. I was looking for my bucket. I was like, where's my water bucket? Yeah, so I literally had a step stool on to help me with the rice. Okay, okay. And then because I needed to portion it out, it was so fucking hard, y'all. What? Why? And then yeah, but I haven't gotten to the level of actually, you know. Ooh, diagonals. Oh, he was right. Damn. That was 2. Wow. I've got 31 right now. Like a truffle dog for diamonds. Yeah, you're amazing. Dude, it's all you, man. It's all you. I'm just following. I'm following the Grungus. We've been so lucky so far. Holy shit. Whee! Ah, that's a spider! Where do you come from? Yeah, I haven't gotten to the level of domination in Rice verse to be like, you know, pounding mochi. Not yet. I haven't gotten to pounding rice. But I've gotten to actually, like, you know, portioning rice and cutting it down in size and everything. Like, I'm amazing. I'm fucking amazing, chat. Don't underestimate me. What do you mean by weak? I went to gym. I got this. I might not be able to carry rice, but I can bring it down in like 2 sizes or something. Do you like a grandma? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not. Okay, I might be like 10 years older than you or something. I forgot. I might be 10 years older than you actually. Hold on. Am I really? I might be. Oh god, I'm 11 years older than you. Yep, around there. I'm 10 years older than Unknown. And Cookie. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Full young. I mean, there's a reason why I don't understand half the things you say. Like, what the fuck is Mog? Legit. Thanos killer over here. He just sent me a video and he's like, Morgs you. I was like, what the fuck is a Morg? What do you mean by Morg? Like, ow. That was unexpected. This one is enchanted. Oh my god. Why do all the skeletons have enchanted bows? This is annoying. Oh no! I'm fine. I'm fine. What is that invisible shit I'm seeing? What? That's a spider. How is it invisible? What the fuck? It's hacking. Oh, the video was you? Holy shit. Okay, yep, I should have known. You are very young. You are very young. Ah. I had no idea that video was you. I was like, what kind of meme is this? What is Mogs you? Like, who the fuck is a Mog? What is a Mog? No? Not this way. Okay. Had no idea. I just received Legrangus Thanos killer face review. I had no idea it was him. But now I do. Now I do. So many spiders. This has to be Australia. The most Australia experience ever. Holy shit. I did not sign up for this. But yeah, I haven't gotten to rice pounding yet. I'm at the domination level of like probably a CEO, you know, like an overbearing CEO. That's probably it though. Like nothing much. You eat so much rice. I know, right? Wait till I get more gains at the gym and then I will just demolish and pound rice into mochi or something. I want to do that. Kind of. Actually, I don't. Because I have to carry that stupid hammer. Do you know how heavy that stupid wooden mallet thing is when they pound the mochi? It's like, I probably won't be able to lift it. That's gonna be kind of crap. Also, who is messaging me on Discord? Hold on. I'm streaming right now. Thanos the Rice Destroyer. Holy shit. I thought you ate pizza more or like pasta or something. I don't know. What do you normally eat, Kangas? Oh, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this, zombie. Goodbye, zombie. Oh my god, there's one guy in gold. Why is he decked out? He looks so tacky. You, sir, have no sense of fashion. Let's go. Gold. I like gold, but I'll never wear gold willingly. It's so tacky. What the heck? Yo, I got gold chains, right? Like inheritance from my grandma and stuff. I don't know how the older people actually wear those. What is that flex? What am I looking at? Do I even want to know? Alright. I did my dues. Wait, that's a spawner! That's a mob spawner. What is this? What is this up here? There's a mob spawner, isn't it? Alright, I'll take care of this dude with no sense of fashion. What mob spawner is that, Grangus? Oh, it's a zombie one, isn't it? Do you not have lights? Alright, I got lights. I got lights. Zam! Wait, there's a copper horse armor and a golden apple. What? What? It's a zombies. Horse armor, I might as well. I'm gonna grab the horse armor. I don't need the gapple. I need half of these things. Hoi! Hoi! Alright, chat, I'm not exactly looking at these, but why are you calculating my age difference with yours? The only thing you have to know is that I'm old enough to be your teacher, alright? I'm not Unc. I'm Aunt. There's a difference. Get it right. You can call me Mom as well, okay? I'm pretty sure I can be a very, very convincing mom. I think so. I hope so. I don't know. What? They're actually chasing Gangas. Holy shit. Oof. Okay. There's actually no fire damage. This wood is not burning. Or is that like a special kind of wood? It's not burning. It's actually not burning. Why is it not burning? Why is it not burning? Is fire damage off or something? Oh, that's pale wood. What? What? Well, well, pale wood doesn't burn, really? Then we gotta farm more of those. Fire damage is off. I see. Okay, for the record, there is no griefing then. This server has to be whitelisted, y'all. So if you wanna join, you have to join Unknown's Discord first, and then get yourself whitelisted. That's a diamond up there. Holy shit. Hi. My name is Chibi. Do you have friends? I'd like to meet more of your friends. No? It's too sad. It's just one. Wow! Those are Endermen. Why are they here? Did you stare at them? Oh wait, that's so smart. Two Endermen sitting on a boat. They just vibing. What do you mean by I forgot about the mommy thing? I was never a mom, okay? I was never a mom. Was I a mom? Okay, maybe, but I never have biological kids, okay? I adopt kids. There's a fucking difference. Okay. Okay. I adopt kids all the time. There's a fucking difference. And recently some of my kids have moved out. They have grown up, they've moved out. They no longer need to live in my house. So yeah. One Punch Creeper.
Say hi to one of these kids.
Oh yeah, one of my kids. Hi chat. Say hi to Herbie, one of the kids. Stop! Stop! I'm so pissed. What is shooting me? I'm so low right now. That's impossible. What is this? I have diamond armor, y'all. What the fuck? Shut up.
Hi.
Hello. Hi,
How you
Herbie.
doing?
I'm trying to survive in Minecraft. We're doing Minecraft right now. I have a Rice Domination stream celebration, but I'm actually running on copium right now. If not for Grungus, I'll be dead. Ugh, I took damage. I'm in diamond armor though. What the fuck? I'm in. Don't judge. Don't judge. Minecraft is a horror game.
For what?
Minecraft is a horror game.
Well,
So I cooked rice successfully. Might I tell you that successfully by adjusting the ratio mathematically, I have found the secret formula to rice. I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna hide. I'm half health down. I'm terrible at this. Okay. What do you mean by unk? Ant?
Well,
Why do you have
congrats on
apples?
cooking the rice.
I don't want golden apples. I like pumpkin pies. They work fine. I'm okay. Alright, where do we go next? Where is my diamond sniffing truffle dog? Gonna point to. Kind of.
Alright, so I just came in to... And I hear myself. Anyway. I came here today to you just to whine a bit because... The last night I was playing Tasped in VR chat. And the point is, Steam VR just broke.
Steam VR?
Yeah,
Oh, the
it
update.
Just, no, not the update. I tried the beta version, I tried the previous version. Nothing fucking works.
I'm fine. Okay.
I was so fucking pissed. It's literally the Nightbreaker.
Take a break from VR. Stop baiting men.
I were having a break from VR. Because of the fucking work, I just don't have time. And my father always home, so yeah, I can't really seduce man.
You got seduced, man. I don't think that's a loss. Ow.
And that is a loss.
That is a loss because...
Hi. Someone came in.
Who came in?
Kitty.
Cookie!
Kitty.
Cookie! I am trying to replace the diamonds that I used. With Grangus's help, he is like a truffle dog, but for diamonds, he's so good at this. I almost died.
What diamonds? What do you use?
But because I went to make like the dupes for the smithing template that Grungus gave me, and then I put it in your house with like one red and one purple trim versions for like, you know. And then after that, I'm like, oh, I actually used a lot of diamonds, so I felt bad. Now I'm trying to replace them. Now, but I'm very bad at this thing, so even though I dominated Rice, I don't think I'm actually winning in Minecraft right now. So yeah,
Chibi,
yeah.
tutorial on how to find diamonds.
I
You find a mountain that is really high and really tall, and you dig down, and there is a guaranteed cave and an ancient city.
Ancient City.
Just get diamonds there.
I'm gonna die. You know the sniffers, not sniffers. What is that? The wardens. They go, and then after that I just go boom. Diamonds! Oh my god, Grangus, you are amazing. You just dig into diamonds. You're a god. You're a god. Holy shit. Look at that. I'm just following behind him like a
Alright.
lost child.
I've shared part of my shitty night.
Oi.
I wish you all the best. And I really hate your dynamics. I hear myself, and it's so awful.
You gotta love your own voice.
Put your speakers off.
Well, it sounds
I am
strange.
on speakers. I am on speakers. Because
I
my
know,
hair
that's
is
why I'm
wet.
telling you to put them up. I know your hair is wet too,
How do you know?
because you always do this.
It's not always. It's only when my hair is wet. Promise. Okay,
Kitty, you remind me
put
of
it
All
on.
Mind from
put them
Armored Core 6.
I'll put them on.
Okay, so yeah, my part here is done. I wish you all the best, Chibi. Love you. Please don't be, I don't know, upset. Don't be, scared, etc., etc. And yeah, be healthy. Don't die.
Why do you always say the same things? I'm not gonna kick the bucket tomorrow. I'm gonna fill the bucket with water tomorrow, and then I'm gonna MLG this.
That's the good. That's good. That's all I can say. My head is not working. Anyway,
Okay.
wish you all the best.
Thank
Kitty,
you.
it was nice to meet you. Grunkus, it was. Well, I didn't really meet you. You just hear. You can hear me. I can't hear you, so I don't know you. So we didn't met. Anyway,
He
it
says
was nice
hello
to
in
talking
chat.
with you.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Thank you for dropping by. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye,
I am
Uncle.
off to kill some Xenos.
Okay.
Huh? Huh?
Lava. I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
What, Uncle?
Xenoblazes. Yes.
Kitty says bye, uncle.
Goodbye, Uncle.
Bye bye, uncle.
Why, uncle?
You old as hell, boy.
Not really.
How?
not really.
Chibi, I sound old?
You're
Yup.
like 34.
That's an atom bomb on my head. How? How come? You're the only person called me uncle. The most
Yeah.
characteristics I hear about myself, that's a fanboy or Russian twink or just some fucked up dude. That's all I can hear. But uncle? How?
You're a Russian uncle.
Granga says he sees
Why,
Russian
uncle?
twink. He says Russian twink. You're a twink. It's okay.
A twink uncle.
No,
Why, uncle?
a
I
twink
don't understand
uncle.
that. Explain.
How is a twink
There's
uncle?
nothing to explain, it's a fact of life.
There's a twink
How?
uncle.
Oh, I remember. That's you. The person who responded to any of my messages with a headband. Okay, I've remembered you. There's no sense of trying to have an answer from you. I understand. Okay, have a good one. Bye bye.
Whee! Why are we swimming? I'm gonna drown. I'm actually gonna drown. Nope, that's not good. I'm going up for air.
Maybe we have 2 stacks of diamonds at home. Why did
Mhm.
you... We don't need diamonds.
We don't. We do. I used them. I'm gonna drown. I'm gonna drown.
Dude,
Air.
we have 2
Oxygen.
stacks of diamonds.
Oxygen. We do? No, I used them,
Yeah.
didn't I? I used them.
No, we still have 2 stacks.
How?
Because we have. But they're in the chest.
Eh. Ow!
2 entire stackies.
2 entire stackies. Okay, you know what? Half of these fines go to Grangas then. Thank you for helping. All of them? Okay. Is your pickaxe fortune, Grungus? Oh, it is. Naruhodo. Oh, he's going up. He's going up. I don't actually know where I am though. What the fuck? Hello, world map. Could you tell me where the fuck I am? I'm in the middle of a fucking ocean. How far did we
Did
go?
Angnon activate the nether?
Not yet. He said he forgot. He said it in a cutesy voice. He thinks he's gonna be forgiven if he acts like a fanboy.
Did Angnon needs to pull... No, that's it. Not only the nether, he also has to activate the end. He has to activate both now.
Ooh, that's... Oh my god! That's 64 plus 50! That's a lot! That's a lot! Ow. Eh. Ay! Oh, okay. Let's go! That's 64 plus 50. Ooh. Cookie! We got diamonds again!
We had them the entire time.
Also, Grangas, why? Okay. Where do we go? Wait, let me check the map. Yeah, I'm going in the right direction. Yay! I'm gonna ignore chat completely, yo. I don't understand anything that you guys are saying. All I'm saying is I dominated rice. I haven't reached the level of being able to pound rice in mochi yet, but soon maybe I will achieve that one day. Yeah, I'm just saying that. We're not that far. Oh, we're not that far. Okay. Runga's still behind me? Yes, okay. Can't believe I'm driving. Oh my god, nobody actually lets me drive in real life. Like, you get out of the driver's seat. And I was like, okay, but I have a license, you know, right? I don't trust you.
Angnon, activate the end. Activate the end.
Unknown is in chat. Yes, activates is the end and activates is the nether. We already have a portal here. Cookie's gonna be so mad at you, Unknown. He says nuh-uh.
Dude, Angnon, I'm so pissed. I'm not playing on the server if you don't. I will never play again. Never ever. Activate. You're like 4 months late. 4 months late with unlocking anything.
That's what she said. Get it done, Unknown. I have a lot of random stuff here. Here. Here we go. Whee! That's a lot of gold. You have an eye appointment? What's a buzz cut and an eye appointment got to do with the nether, brother? Even my wet head doesn't give you an excuse to do that. What the hell? Meow, he said meow. What do we do? I'm gonna fill your hole with chickens, I swear to god. Open it or else. Open it or else, Unknown. You have been warned. I'm gonna grab chickens. I'm gonna grab eggs. We have way too many of it over there. You have been warned, Unknown. Open it today or else. Look at all these eggs. Unknown, are you seeing it? Are you seeing this? We have a double chest full of fucking eggs. Open it or else. I'm gonna start filling it. You just pop the totem. It's okay, we got plenty. I'm gonna fill it. I mean it. I know where your hole is. And I know where you keep your villagers. Loot ancient cities? I'm scared, bro. What do you mean by loot ancient cities? What do you mean by that? Fight the wither. The nether's not even open. See, look at this hole. Look at this hole. I know. I know where you keep your villagers. I'm gonna count to 10. Otherwise, I'm gonna start unloading it here. Okay, open the fucking nether.
Okay, so Chibi,
Uh-huh.
I'm just here to tell you that I tuned into your stream as you said I'm gonna fill your hole.
Why do you always guys? Why are you guys always like
I
this?
don't know.
Why do you always come in the wrong stream? You don't even
I
use
don't
Twitch.
know.
Why are you doing this to me? The last time you were reading it with the yaoi stuff. Yaoi stuff? No. This Alesta's, what is that, goth mummy reading? And now you're like the filling holes. I haven't even counted down to 10. What is this?
I know.
Everybody,
I just have bad luck.
you all hate me, I swear to God.
I don't hate you.
Why is it always like this? Okay, it's probably good that you didn't come in on the part where I'm talking about how I dominated Rice. That's gonna be even worse, I feel. By the way,
I mean, you have that as a title, video title.
it is because I made the new subscriber follower goal on Twitch. I'm moving to Twitch in August, so like I made a new goal, like 250 followers. I will write Rice Domination as like a meme book. I make Rice-kun submit to me. That literally is gonna be the title, y'all. Like it's
You are not helping your case.
What do you mean by I'm not helping my case? I'm like the overbearing CEO right now when it comes to rice. Like I nailed it. All I had to do was math, the proportions, and then suddenly the recipe works. Do you know how miraculous that is? For the past 2 years I've been suffering. So my rice cooker is actually allergic to vegetables and seasoning. All I had to do was remove those because it's not vegan.
Wait. You were putting vegetables and seasoning into your rice cooker.
Yeah, I was following the one pot recipe. But then I didn't realize that rice cookers hated smoke eaters as well. So yeah.
TV.
What? Am I getting judged? Please don't tell your mom. She's gonna. I feel like your mom's gonna judge me if she ever knew.
I mean, she already knew a lot of it.
I cannot go to your house anymore. I cannot go to your house anymore. Your mom's gonna look at me with the eyes of, how did you survive this far?
I wonder that too.
By the way, chat, this is Lily. She is also about 10 years younger than me. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it. And she's pitying me. I don't need your pity. I dominated Rice today, that's all. I'm a very overbearing female CEO and Rice-kun is my slave. I exerted dominance with the help of a stool. And I had one leg on the counter where the rice cooker was on, and I was stabbing it. I was like, yeah, take this. Like, you know, like my hand was like cramping up, you know, without the help of that additional height extension. So bad. And I was like, you know, I give up. I went to get a stool and suddenly everything worked. And do you know how miraculous that was? Today was like wins, you know? I have 3 wins in a row. The stupid customer with the coffee thing. Yeah, I won that case as well. I won that fucking case as well. And then the matcha, yo, you can make it in a protein shake bottle. I was saying it. I'm gonna say it again. But yeah, about holes, unknown. I'm gonna count down to 10. And I'm gonna load all the eggs in this place. Okay, the other hole is too big. This hole is smaller. Okay. I think the double chest of chickens is gonna fit in here. Alright, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, fuck you, unknown. There we go. We're gonna eggify this thing. I need a better way to do this. We're gonna eggify this. Let's go.
That doesn't even make sense.
What makes sense? Water on fire? What are you guys talking about?
We're like breaking. What?
What did you do?
You put
SpongeBob?
water on fire.
Really? Oh wait, because
You-
fire damage is off.
No, it's because fire counts as a block apparently.
Fire is a
I'm
block?
going to Nether. That's it.
How are you going to
so
the
you're-
nether?
Chibi, you can
Where's that?
automate it if you want me to teach you how to do it.
Which one?
Automate throwing the eggs.
What do you mean? I'm throwing the eggs.
You can do that without like just constantly doing what you're doing.
Oh, how?
It's kind of painful. You need a dispenser and 2 observers.
We can't do that because the nether is not open. That's the
Oh,
reason why
oh.
I'm egging his hole, because the nether is not open. I want it open. I'm gonna unload all the chickens in here because I need the nether open, and bro is not doing it because he has an eye appointment. Fuck you, Unknown. I don't care about your eyes. You can open the nether when you're blind. Oh, I'm out of ammo. I'm gonna get more ammo. Hold on. I'll be back. I'll be back. I have like too many eggs over there, you know, like gotta do something with them. We have a portal, Lily. We have a fucking portal in here, but like it's not working because server pumps are like, oh, we don't support this right now. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna get more eggs. I'm gonna unlock the entire fucking double chest of it. Believe it. I'm gonna have to run like 3 times here. So yes. I wanna see what they're talking about. Water on fire? Where's the water on fire? That's the fire, okay. That's the water on the fire. That's fire. I see that's fire. Where's the... I'm just gonna get nauseous just standing in here. Look at that. It's not actually working. Do I hear... Do I hear night birds? What is that? Also, let me out. Freaking Grungus. I can't even mind this shit. I can't even... Why can't I mind this shit? Why can't I mind this shit? Oh,
That's just how the nether portal works.
you...
Rip.
You so freaking touched me. Okay, what was I here for again? Eggs. Tamago! You're so dead. I know. I'm gonna load so many chickens inside. You wish you opened KFC restaurant. Should we go to sleep?
Alright, I'm gonna go now.
Okay.
I was just here to tell you about the
The whole...
whole thing.
You came in here just to tell me, okay, Chibi, you sound really sus with the holes. That's it, huh? Thanks.
Yep.
And judge my
Bye
rice.
bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for dropping by. Holy shit. What are the odds, y'all? Do y'all not wanna... The chat is very obscene right now. The chat is very obscene right now. Do you guys not wanna sleep off the phantoms? No? You guys don't wanna sleep... Oh, you got... Okay. What the heck? Y'all crazy. Okay, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue with the eggs. I have issues. And I'm gonna make Unknown know about my issues. I want net unlocked. Cause I want observers. Cookie left game. It's a hero born shrine. Where's the hero born shrine? We don't know. Okay. You've seen some fucked up things. Don't distract. Okay. I'm going to... I hear a lot of chickens now. Chat, aren't you glad I actually adjusted the volume for this? Thanks to the villagers court case that you guys wanted to sue me for because I didn't adjust friendly mobs. I've adjusted friendly mobs now. Are you happy? Also, I know I'm smacking villagers. They're not gonna die, I think. But they are very angry now. No, they are not. Okay, you know what? That kind of works. It works out for me. Assault! Assault! Yeah! Obsidian trap a zombie. What? Evil. I'm a villain, yo. Like I'm evil. Look at that. All the chickens unloaded. Chibi, come here. Why? Where? Why? Where? Meow meow. There's a cat. You know, you guys, Cookie, you can use the voice chat, right? While you guys typing. What are you guys typing? Okay, I'm coming over to Cookie's house. You guys should be here. What do you want? Are you guys hacking the portal? Really? Are you guys hacking it? Oh, what? What is going on? What, huh? You're mine now, buddy. Oh, the kidnapping. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Grungus. Bye. It's nice knowing you. Bye bye. Oh shit, he can fly. I forgot they're pretty OP. Oh shit, he can fly. He freed himself. Look at that. Look at that. In which history of kidnapping do you ever see the victim free themselves? Like, no, not in my history. Okay, I'm here. Might also grab more eggs. Eggs. Tamago time. Let's go. I actually am gonna finish unloading all this. Chibi, come back. Why? 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 I have eggs to unload. Wait, what? You guys told me to come here just to watch you leave the game? What is that? Prayers to the Herobrine Shrine? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are they doing? Don't touch the shrine. You just saw Herobrine all force. Naked. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Wait, did she just go in again? I gotta build. Okay, okay. Call me when the divine shrine is out. Okay. I don't know what this. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. It's behind me. It's behind. Oh my god, there is one already. Holy shit, that's fast. That is fast. The two of it, the black and the white. Holy shit. I'm scared. I'm scared. This is no longer Diddy's Island. This is not even Diddy's Island. This is just Dildo Island at this point. What are you guys doing? What have you guys done? Ads? Okay. Yeah, I'll wait for ads to be over. But oh my god. Wait, that's a water shrine, that's a fire shrine. Oh. Wait, wait. Water beats fire. Hmm. God dang it. Oh. Oh. My kids are fighting. My kids are fighting. Should I stop them? Do I want to be the disciplinarian mom? Or should I do gentle parenting right now? Like, hey, let's be nice, everybody. I don't think that's gonna work. Chat is in ed jail. Got it. 2 more minutes for you guys in ed jail. You guys are destroying the sugar canes. Okay. Why are you putting the sugar canes back, Grungus? What the hell? Sugarcane wars, yo. What the heck? One and a half more minute in Edgeo. Hang in there, chat. You got this. Nani suru? Who's winning? Who's winning? Grungus is losing. Underwater sugar. What guy is doing? Wait, you can do that? What the hell? They grow underwater. What? This server is so broken. Has it always been like this? Man, I don't think so. Okay, you know what? This is a new way to grow sugar. Do it underwater. Yo, that's low-key kind of smart, but I don't think they're gonna grow. They just look like kelp. Underwater kelp. What are you guys? Wait, you grow it all the way in the sand. What? Stop destroying the roots of the sugar. Alright. I feel like they're just going to... Are you guys gonna intend to plant the entire seabed full of sugar canes right now? What? I can't. My inventory is full of eggs. I gotta unload it at Unknown's hole first. Dance, dance. Okay, dance. Yeah, dance. I don't know how to dance. Dance, dance. I don't know. I can twerk. I guess I can twerk. What? Oh, web cage, but sugarcane variant. Hi, chat. Welcome back to the. You guys know that you can use ad blockers, right? I think you can use ad blockers. I hope it works. You don't have to be in agile. You know, there are workarounds. PvP tech. Where they place 2 webs on themselves to heal. Huh. Yeah, I don't know that. But yeah, chat, look at this. We got 2 shrines over here. They are exactly what it looks like. And right now we have a very suspicious sugar farm hidden in the ocean right here. And we have my kids over there who are play fighting, and I don't know if I want to parent, like gentle parent them and be like, hey, play nice, because you know, because I don't exactly want to stop it. It's cursed as fuck. It is. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna finish unloading all the freaking chickens in Unknown's hole. Hopefully he will come back and open the nether for us. Every chicken is a prayer, okay? Every chicken that hatches there is a prayer. I need to make another trip once I'm done with this inventory, but okay, we got it. No worries. So yeah, today's quota of diamonds has been fulfilled. And the nether is still not open. Just dupe the water bucket. The game is so broken right now. Alright, going back on. Going back in the hole. Alright, there we go. We'll go back to unloading chickens in here. Your bucket is gone. It's back. Oh, the lag is so bad. Look at how many chickens there are. Not enough. I feel like that's still not enough. Should I bring seeds and multiply them? Actually, no, you know what? I feel like that might be enough because they're all kind of stuck in this composter right now. Yeah, a lot of them are stuck in corners and composters. It's fine. You're a ghost bucket. Yay! One more trip, and then I think I will run out of eggs. One more trip. Oh, iron golem duplicated. Okay. Is it because I keep on smacking villagers with eggs? Gonna finish taking out the eggs. There's another. I saw the prank. I saw the prank. I know legitimately from Canada. He was like, oh fuck. And then he went to log in and he was like, God damn it, Grungus. Deserved. I'd say deserved. He didn't open the nether for like, I don't know how many months this server has been on right now, but for considerably long. And we've gotten all sick of it. Because we want observers. I want nether quartz so that we can get observers. You lied. Grungus is a bitch. He lied. Nether on Temu. Fake ass nether. Okay, so last batch of chickens and then out and then we're good. I hope Unknown opens the nether and the end so that everybody can be happy and then we can play more Minecraft. You don't know where you put the pill beside. Oh my god. No, Rungus. Whose house did you put it in? I'm gonna have to locate it. Whose house did you put it in, Grungus? Why do you not know? Why do you not know? That Loki, I wanted to find. You planted it? Wait, where do you plant it? Where did you plant the pale oak saplings? They're not growing. I don't see it. PvP is off, y'all. I think. I don't know. Why is there another pig over there? What? Why is there another pig here? What is this nether pig here? Since when? What is this phenomenon? Huh? Wait, is this real? Is this real? Trap him? I don't... Oh my god. Name tag him! We have name tags somewhere. I forgot. Pale oak is there. Oh, nice. We have name tags. I think I have name tags. I fished up like 3. I'm gonna go get them. That is... How? Call him Carl? Okay, got it. I'm gonna get a name tag and call him Carl. I have to go to the fishing site though. Carl. That's all? Just Carl? Yo, we have a rare nether mob without the nether being open. Do you know how rare this is, Chibi? I know! I know! Actually, no, I don't. Because I thought it was found in the nether, but I don't know why it is here. Okay, I'm getting a name tag. I'm getting a name tag. Oh, a pig! Wait, it's done in the overworld? Okay, I got a name tag. I named it Carl. I named it Carl. I'm coming back. It's super rare. Oh shit. He should... Wait, we should bring it to the shrine. Carl is like the messiah, right? The messenger of the shrine. Where can we bring it to the shrine? That... Yeah, I'm coming back with a name tag for Carl. Chad, this is not planned. It is not staged. It is not planned. It just happened. Getting him to Grungus's home? Herbert the goat. Wait, are we talking about Carl or are we talking about Herbert? Where's Carl? Let me find Carl. Carl! I have your name tag. I don't know where they are. Wait. Let me get the... Wait, it's Herbert now. It's not Carl anymore. Really? His name is Herbert? Okay. You can have the Carl name tag. It's Herbert. Okay, so we have a rarity of its own over here. Nice. Good to know. I think he's good. I think he's good. Nobody's gonna smack him, so it's okay. He's not gonna smack me either. That's nice. Wait, the mobs will target pigmen? What? Really? You need glass? Put him in a glass area or something. Okay. Oh. I forgot it was claimed. How do I get out? How do I get out? I have no claims here. How do I get out? Open. Oh. Ah! Oh, nice. Nice. Hi, Herbert. I would like to get a McFlurry ice cream, please. I can't get out. Herb. So today on stream we have gained Herb. Nice. Herb appreciation session. Grangas, let me out. Why are you pointing towards the lava? I don't want to go to the lava. I want out. I can't open your door. I know, I saw a lava farm next to Herb. It's his natural Grangas! It's his natural territory. Why? Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Grangas! Yay, thank you. Alright, so it's a pretty short stream today. I don't know. I had a long day, I guess. I had a long day. I had a lot of things to do. And I did a lot and I still have a lot to do. As crazy as it sounds. Shoyash. Okay, wait. Any last words from Cookie and Grangas before I go? Yeah, by the way, I spent all the diamonds on these things. Discard, what do you mean? Which Discord? Where Discord? Whose Discord? Love you guys too. Thank you. They're taking a selfie. Thank you for joining me. I definitely replaced the diamonds. Now we have 3 stacks, 3 1/4 stacks. So we guys good now. We are good. We're Gucci. Yes. That's all for today, chat. Thank you for joining me. And I'm going to end the stream right now. I'm gonna have fun with Herb. Have fun. Have fun. Bye bye. Yeah. Every single time they come in, it's crazy. Hey, it's crazy. Yep. Okay. Do you guys want me to raid somebody? Let me just see if anybody is actually on right now that I follow that I will raid. If not, then I guess it's. Oh, actually, yes. Citrus is doing Marvel Rivals. We can say hi to Citrus. Yep. Okay. Remember the rate message, guys. Yeah, that one. Rate message. Yes, that the one. Thank you so much. You're actually a very decent mod, huh? I don't even know how Twitch works, but okay. We're gonna go say hi to Citrus. Collect your points, And we may or may not be able to do karaoke solo stream if we hit 50k for that. But if we don't, that's fine as well. So I'll see you guys again when I do see you guys. Probably this Sunday. Moon is coming back. Moon is coming back, so we're gonna go for it on Sunday. It takes two. So yes, I'll see you guys Sunday, my time. Alright, thank you. Good night. Have a great week ahead, everybody. Where is my OBS? Bye bye.